Imagine you go on vacation with your family and you want to take some photos. You want to create a scrapbook for your kids to give their kids one day. The thing is though, is you forgot to back up the pictures on the cloud. And at the airport on the way home, well, your 5-year-old gets mad during a game of Angry Birds and throws the phone on the ground and breaks it to a million pieces. Now, besides what you have in your mind, everything that's left from the photos from that trip, well, they're gone. And your scrapbook's gonna have an empty page where the best part should have been. As you might have guessed, blockchain is the solution to this problem, like it is to everything. You see, there are several projects that involve storage on decentralized servers, but only one that claims they'll be there forever. We're talking about Arweave. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Make sure to hit that like button if you like when we cover specific projects. Also subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. So let's dig in, let's talk about Arweave. Obviously, Arweave's use cases go far beyond just photos on a camera roll or getting backed up by the cloud. Imagine if there was some type of sensitive information archived on the internet, and there are elites in the world that don't want you to find a certain fact. See, they could easily go into that archive and change that information, or even hide it to avoid an issue where people might find it. And trust me, this happens every single day. Listen to this clip from Pennsylvania's Pat Toomey. Here, the center explains how Arweave was actually able to stop the Chinese Communist Party from blocking the messages of a pro-democracy newspaper. Check it out.
Over time, it's possible that the application of this innovation may become more important than the usefulness of crypto as a currency per se. And we're already seeing it have a real-world impact. As we all know, democracy and individual freedom in Hong Kong are under assault from the Chinese Communist Party. That assault has included the forced closure of a pro-democracy newspaper, Apple Daily. But the Chinese government has not been able to erase Apple Daily's important work. That's because Arweave, a cryptocurrency network that enables permanent data storage, was used to permanently store portions of the paper. This technology makes it impossible for the Chinese government to destroy Apple Daily's work, no matter how hard it tries.
Given how the world is just so trigger happy for censorship, you just saw firsthand from a US Senator how important Arweave is. So how does Arweave accomplish this? Well, let's check it out. Arweave is a decentralized storage platform that started in the UK in 2018. Led by CEO Sam Williams, the project set out to create a permanent, immutable storage solution for the internet. And this happened with support of the Web3 Foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, the Mozilla Foundation, and many more. And like I always say when we're talking about servers, it's always important to go with decentralized servers instead of centralized ones. It just creates less problems. I mean, how much can you trust Google or Amazon web servers anyways? Do we trust those companies? You know Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. We all know that, correct? In the interwoven world of the elites and their cronies, they're always apt to cover anything up or hide anything that their buddies need them to. And more importantly, to keep the information and the truth out of your hands. If someone goes against the grain of the belief system of either one of those corporations, they have no problem shadow banning or censoring them. So instead of being controlled by big tech, centralization, and instead of having one single point of failure, decentralized servers spread out the information from a plethora of servers all over the world, creating a more secure, tamper-proof, censorship-resistant environment, which makes for a more fair and democratic internet. And some of you may be thinking, Ben, didn't we just talk about Filecoin? Or Filecoin and Arweave basically the same thing? Well, yes, they're both projects that utilize decentralized storage, but they use different tech and therefore have different features. While Filecoin uses IFPS, or the Interplanetary File System, in an attempt to provide decentralized storage, Arweave uses the block weave, and this provides permanence on the internet. This means that they want to store your data forever. Remember, the internet was built for connectivity, not permanence. So think of it like this. Filecoin is renting their user storage in return for a coin, Filecoin, where Arweave allows users to store data permanently. As long as the network doesn't go down, you can retrieve your data or files for a small fee. So obviously we know why it's important to have permanence on the internet, but how do they do this? So structurally speaking, Arweave's blockchain is much different than a traditional blockchain. The block weaving technology is a subset of distributed ledger technology, or DLT. This acts like a hard drive or a permaweb, and the user's access sits on top of it. A block in a normal blockchain is connected to the block in front of it and the block behind it. With Arweave, a block is connected to the one in front of it and two behind it. Hence the weaving, where the second block, it's called the recall block. Without getting too far into the weeds and the consensus mechanisms and whatnot, what's the end game here? What's the point? Why does it matter? Well, a lot of you guys are speculation based or trading based. And Arweave's token right now is down 90% from its all-time high. Now that you see its value, could there be something there that could make it return to all-time highs in the next bull run? We'll just have to see. Not financial advice, but it's definitely one to keep your eye on. From a utilities perspective, we've already discussed about permanence and why decentralized servers are so important to the ecosystem of the internet in the future. But it doesn't end there. Arweave has a massive ecosystem that incorporates smart contracts, NFTs, music storage, identity, and the list goes on and on. But let's say you want to save your photos, music, videos, or anything else on Arweave. How do you do that? You can do this at ardrive.io. Or you can permanently store your memories and data on a decentralized server for a minimum cost. And you can do that right now for a minimum of 200 years. And in the future, you'll be able to even increase that amount. Because who knows, maybe in 1,000 years, your consciousness will still be alive in a metaverse. And you can see your photos from way back here in 2023. And unlike normal cloud subscriptions, well, this one you just pay one time and you're done. There's no monthly fee. Once it's on AR Drive, it's there forever. Pricing to do this goes from $1.50 all the way to $4 per gigabyte. It has dynamic pricing, but at the last check, it was $1.63. This is more expensive than, say, Google, but since that's a subscription-based service, in a few years, this will be worth much more of a value. You can check out this chart to back that up. So it's cheaper, and you can store your data longer on Arweave than you can on any of these corporations and centralized servers from companies that we hate. So to me, it's pretty common sense. If you want to store your stuff forever, just check out Arweave and ardrive.io. But you be the judge. Drop down below and let me know in the comments what you think about Arweave. What you think about decentralized servers. Have you tried to use ardrive.io? Make sure to like this video. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.